Hello there, Internet. How's it going? Welcome back to the show. Thanks for clicking on this one. My name's Pat Dan, and today we are back on Reddit Gets Drawn Badly. Today we're here with ISISWIT, who asks, would be so nice if you did, smiley face with lots of extra clothed parentheses. It would be so nice, and I will. But before we get started, I would like to show you just a little piece of W news for the YouTube community at large. Those aware of Buff Corell, the famed dancer, famed, song coverist, he's just a YouTube legend, recently done Underscores Do It. One of the greatest songs of our generation. I'm just going to show you a little clip with no audio. I mean, isn't this just, I can maybe do some like beat, like, I mean, I don't know if that helps your immersion. Probably broke it a little bit for a second there. But if you haven't heard the song, it's just Underscores going, do it, do it, do it, like over and over again. And it's kind of a goated track. If you haven't heard it, I would like say, pull it up right now and listen. Like give it just give it a peep, give it a listen, give it a hoot and a holler. Tell her I sent you, Don't actually, because that will mean nothing to anyone. Okay, here we go. I just thought I'd share that with you because it was like big news for me and it made me excited. And I kind of want to excite the world a little bit. And if I'm excited, I'm inclined to believe it might excite at least one other person who exists out there. One of the things, okay, first and foremost, I'm just going to address a few things that happened in my last recording. I'm just going to go straight up meta here. There's a lot of meta analysis that occurs in these videos, and I have no shame of just like laying it straight on the table. I honestly think there's no other way for me. So I'm just going to tell you right up and down. In the last video on my recently viewed communities tab, there was like a problematic sounding subreddit. Like the name of the subreddit itself. Oh my god, the name of the subreddit itself was indeed problematic. The content of the subreddit, however, is not. But the passing viewer would see the name and be like, "Whoa, this guy's a freak." So I'm probably going to blur that in the next episode. And if I didn't, then go back and look at it and see what freakish stuff I was looking at, and call me out in the comments. Send Elon Musk pictures of what I did and cancel me on Twitter. I don't know, like do something, whatever you do with that kind of information. But yeah, just wanted to air it. I felt the weight on my chest. Just starting off, I don't want to have anything weighing on me. I just want to be open, open book, honest guy. That's who I am. That's me. The most honest guy you'll ever meet. I think the problem with being honest, the main issue is that when you're this, closed off in terms of community, which is to say non-existent community, that the only person who's watching this is like the person who you're talking about in your real life. Like I know that my audience right now consists of like my 3 friends and like my mom and like my family, and like that's it. And like King Can't Draw, obviously he's my only, like I would consider him my only like outside fan, like external, outside of the ethos of my realm, which is my life. That's what I call my life, my realm. Welcome to my realm. That's what I say whenever somebody meets me. It's kind of the main reason I'm friendless at the moment, but we're working on that. Anyway, I feel like that's the main issue. Also, can I tell you guys a secret, like a little secret behind the scenes secret? You may know I don't like to edit these videos, which sometimes there is like a whole rule book outlined in my head, right? I couldn't tell it to you because I don't really know it, but like it's in my subconscious somewhere, and I know when edits are allowed, I know when they're not, and 99% of the time the answer is no edits allowed. So the way that I've worked around that in terms of being able to do like a cool little intro, just quick image that you see at the beginning, I'm sure you witnessed it and were like, whoa, that's cool. How did he do that? I'm sure you were thinking that, right? Well, I'll just pull in my OBS and show you straight out. Here's my OBS. I have a second scene here, which if I switch to it, you won't be able to see. So I'll go into studio mode and show you what it's all about. Here in this second scene, you can see me, and if I turn off the layers, you can see it's a black screen, and then I have the intro hit here, and I have to click the intro hit, it plays, and then as soon as it plays, I have to turn off the black screen while it's fully covering the screen so that no black shows when it uncovers the screen. If you go back and watch it, what I just said will make sense. But it's a real skill based setup that I have going here. I just wanted you guys to know that there's no shortage of effort put into it. I'll be straight up and honest with you. I had to film the introduction to this particular video exactly 4 separate times, because I got the timing wrong on the intro. And I think most people would say, you're wasting your time, bro. Don't do that. That's stupid. Most people would say that. If you're not most people, you're sitting there thinking, wow, most people? I am not most people, probably is what you're thinking. But also you're probably thinking, Pat Dan, like, what, please explain yourself. Like, I don't think you're an idiot, but I also don't think that's a smart move. Like, please give me the rundown here. And I'll say to you, dear friend, not most people, basically, here's my thought process, right? If the intro goes badly, like if I flub the intro, if I get the timing wrong, or if I say my words wrong and I have to redo it, that's a bad omen, right? That means that the recording that would have ensued after that intro would have been horrible, terrible, bad. And I've like saved myself the trouble of going through that by adding a layer of difficulty in the intro that eliminates all the bad takes. So I don't have to like have as many, takes that I don't post. That's kind of my thought process. Also, I'm going through a phase in my life right now where I'm trying to just post every single one of these, unless I say something that is absolutely unacceptable, unless I like say my true thoughts about, the marginalized groups in society and speak out on how much I just want to, create chaos and war. Unless those thoughts come out, then I post a video no matter what. So, which is, basically boils down to like, I don't know, like 20% of the takes that I do get recorded. It's really hard for me to hold back. Okay. It's really like, if you lived in the brain that I live in, you'd understand how hard it is not to talk about just how much I want to start chaos in the world, anarchy. Some might say, some call me actually Lil Xan, because like the world that I live in is kind of Lil Xan's, somewhat self-titled album Xanarchy. That bit like flopped immensely on its head, and I don't apologize. You know what? That's called comedy, is what that's called. And if you didn't understand that, and if you didn't laugh at it, you just don't get comedy. It's something that's not for you. And I'm sorry. Maybe turn to like a drama. Maybe you're a drama kind of person, and maybe I just helped you figure out what genre is your forte. So you should thank me, and I'd like, maybe a payment for that or something. I don't know. I'm low on funds right now. Just hit me up. Anyways, yeah, it is definitely hard to want to like talk about real life stuff like Goob the Noob. I'm going to be talking about Goob the Noob a lot, by the way. Like, you might be thinking, oh, he made a couple videos on Goob the Noob already, now he's done. Like, no, I might honestly, genuinely might even make a video essay on Goob the Noob. Like, he's a fascinating person to me. And he's kind of my idea. You know what Goob the Noob is? I'm making a whole nother video about Goob the Noob right now, I guess. As soon as you get me going, I can't stop. You know what Goob the Noob is? Goob the Noob is like the Chris Chan that hasn't been discovered and ruined. Like Chris Chan is so honest and open and just wants to say everything, but they were discovered and ruined and tainted and inspired to do horrible things with their corporeal form, that we here call a body. And you know that's a whole situation that we won't get into, right? But Goob the Noob, yet untainted by reality, just still maintaining that desire to document everything and like live life online. And it's like kind of awesome to see unfold, because no one wants to interfere, no one wants to make his life worse, and everyone kind of just seems to be there to like watch him live and cheer him on from the side. Like, you really, when you're watching a Goob the Noob video, you really don't want to give him advice most of the time, unless it's something that's like common sense or like just the way the world works that he should probably know. You're like, you know what, he'll figure this out. Like, he'll be talking about something and you'll be like, yeah, you know, probably would be very easy to just tell him how that works and explain to him that, like, you know, 40 is not 100 times less than 1,000. Like, that's not how the math works there. You know, just as an example of something that he, I don't know, may or may not have said in one of his videos. I'm not at discretion to expose that right now, but you know, you could comment that, or you could just let him live. He'll figure the math out himself. You know, the guy, he seems to have his wits about him to a certain degree. And you know, there's no need to interfere with something that is going perfectly fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what the professionals tell me, and I'm somewhat of a professional myself. But you know, the reason I myself can't be Goob the Noob is because I don't think Goob the Noob like has allowed anyone in real life to know like what his YouTube channel is. Like, no one will see it until the algorithm pushes it to them, which would hopefully be by the time that happens, when he already has other people watching him. So it wouldn't be an issue. Like, just imagine this scenario, okay? Imagine you're scrolling on YouTube. YouTube recommends you this video, and you're like, oh, this is my friend. And so you click on it, and the video has like 2 views. And then in the video, your friend says, yeah, I have no friends. I hate this person, and they said a mean thing to me. And then you're like, wait, that person they're talking about is me? What are they talking about? They do have friends. I'm their friend. And it's like a whole thing, you know? It's like, it's a whole thing. But then imagine if that video instead had like 100,000 views, right? Then you're like, oh, cool, 100,000 views. Then you see it and you're like, oh, probably me, but like, I don't really care. Like, this guy's, you know, he's got other things going on, clearly. I don't know. It's a different frame. It's a different frame that it places the video in and changes the way that it is looked at, I think. Or the way I would look at it. I don't know. Maybe I'm different than the average guy. Maybe I'm not your average guy. I'm kind of a different kind of guy than your average guy, you could say. So that's me. Yeah, not your average guy. That's my new not your average guy bit. Let me know if you want to see that recur. You know, I can bring him back. I'm not afraid to bring him back. If the fans want him back, I'll bring him back. And I know, you know, you guys might want him back. Judging by the reception that I just heard, I heard you guys clapping through the screen. As soon as I did that impression, you guys were like, yes! Oh my gosh, finally! You know, that's the impression I've been waiting for. What was the impression again? I already forgot. You know, that's a yikers. That's a yikers, right? Got to work on that memory bank. Got to work on that. I'm working towards a better memory bank. I'll get the upgrade soon. I will receive the upgrade soon. Anyway, you know, I've made a departure. Okay, I think the first couple ones of these that I did, I was kind of focused on slight accuracy. Like, obviously, I wasn't doing like realistic accuracy. Like, that wasn't my goal, and that wasn't what I was doing. Or maybe it was my goal, and I'm embarrassed to admit that. So I'm telling you that it wasn't my goal, because I don't want you to think that I was trying to do that and it looked bad enough that you could feasibly believe it wasn't my goal. But no, that wasn't the case. I would never lie to you. Anyway, that wasn't my goal. And I wasn't trying to do like fully realistic adaptations of what I was seeing. But I was going closer to the reference image. I wasn't doing as much exaggeration. I was going more on the side of let's go silly with it. There were a couple ones where I was like, okay, let's exaggerate, let's go crazy. But most of the time I was like, you know what? I just feel like chilling out, and it's kind of easier sometimes to just copy the photo direct and not do any changes, because then you don't have to worry. Like if it looks weird, you can say what looks different, and then you're like, oh, the eyes look different than the photo. I'll just change the eyes, and then it won't look weird because the photo doesn't look weird. So then if I change the eyes to look like the photo, then my drawing won't look weird, because then the photo doesn't look weird and the drawing doesn't look weird. So we're in the same, and it's the same. But I consider myself, I could, I consider myself kind of a, I don't know, an artistic move maker. I'd say I'm creating the next movement here, um, and we're moving, and we're moving, and we're grooving. You know what I think? I think a few things have a possibility of, I don't like I'm not looking at the stats, so I don't know where things are headed right now in the art world. I don't know what is the most popular. I don't know what's gaining traction right now. I don't know what's falling off. But I think a few things in the wake of AI, in the wake of horrible, disgusting media, have the opportunity to pop off at this moment. I think number one, like live performance, like live music, live theater, live comedy. I think those all have an opportunity to pop off right now. I think the other thing that has the opportunity to pop off right now, sculpture, like could see, a major bump. I could foresee that. Like, especially in the high art world, like not that sculpture hasn't been historically, lucrative, but it could, be pushed even further in that direction, because people are now like, hey, this is a physical thing. And I can see the craftsmanship here, clearly man-made. I don't have to worry. Like, was AI used in the design of this? I don't know, maybe, but it was at least made by human hands. So that's something that I can say I'm paying, full price for. The at least the idea of the person who made this is worth the money for me. I feel like that makes sense. I don't know. Art people, get back at me on that one. Hit me up. I'm really, really desperate to know the answer. I'm waiting with bated breath. But am I going to capitalize on the sculpture movement? You might be asking. Am I going to be the big sculpture guy? No, I might. I'm chilling. I'm good, bro. Maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring, but I'm not trying to do all that. Somebody else can blaze the path. Somebody else can blaze that trail. I might hop on the bandwagon once it's already started, but I'm not gonna try to be that guy. I don't have what it takes to be that guy. And I know you're thinking, Pat, then what are you talking about? You have everything it takes to be that guy. You're the greatest. And I say, you're too much. You're just too much. You're just too much. Don't flatter me. You're too much. No. That's stop. Don't stop. Please keep going. I need to hear more validation, actually. If you stop, I think I'll die. So you need to keep going. Actually, you're feeding me. You're giving me all the sustenance. I don't eat food. I survive off of you telling me that I'm doing okay, telling me that I'm doing the right thing. Because I can't I'm never gonna tell myself that. So it's gotta come from you, dude. You're the only one. You know what's crazy? To me is like the idea that you can have the things that you've done in your life like analyzed by people who didn't even know you after you're dead. And you can like not even, it's something that you'll just never be aware of. Like after you die, someone could like pick up a notebook and be like, yo, dude, the stupid like film adaptation of the children's novel series Warriors Cats that this guy had in his notebook was actually so fire. What if we like took this and made it real and then like praised it for the next 100 years? And like he will never know because he's now dead, since perished, and we can appreciate his artwork from the afterlife. And it's like imagine being that guy. Like how sad would you be if you were that guy? I was that much too late. Like I was just that much too, like I couldn't have been born just like a day later. Like are we serious? Like are we doing this right now? Like I'll throw hands with whoever it takes to get me back in this ring. I'm coming back to the mortal coil if it means that I'm gonna get to see the fruits of my labor here. Like, what are we talking about? I'm surprised we haven't, like, why has, I don't know, like, somebody who wasn't appreciated during their life come back and said, "Hey guys, it's me, I'm back." Actually, probably someone has done that, and we just didn't believe them. We were like, "Hey, shut up! You're crazy. Go to the freaking psych ward." And then we never heard from them again, and they weren't in the news because everyone was like, "This isn't even worth covering. This guy's clearly a psychopath." Ever think about that? You ever think about that? Maybe the psychos maybe has something going for them sometimes. Maybe they're not lying to us all the time. I don't know, just some food for thought. You know what you know who I think about often? I don't know if I've talked about I don't know if I've talked about this person on this channel, but there's this channel called Software Underbelly. I understand that the channel itself and the guy behind the channel has some questionable ethics, and he's kind of a freak. Yes, I recognize that much. But what I do also recognize is that the videos are kind of fire sometimes. And that much is, that's my prerogative. I believe that, and I'm going to continue to believe that. So just relax, sit back, and let me, spit at you for a second. There's this one series of interviews that they've done on that channel with this Rebecca figure. This individual by the name of Rebecca, mysterious. I'm referring to her with kind of an air of mystery here. You'll notice on purpose because she's a very enigmatic figure. Who knows really what she is? I certainly don't. I don't think the audience does. I am the audience. I'm part of the audience, and I don't think any of us know. She's just kind of this freak, weirdo. And I don't feel uncomfortable saying that because I feel like that's something she would say about herself. But she's like she's basically just a drug addict. The whole channel kind of just interviews drug addicts pretty much for the most part, and she's one of those. But she has like an aura. She has like an aura that's like really, like, she could have really done something, like if she was like sober, she could have really done so. Like, she could have been a icon, like an entertainment industry icon. She could have been like the next big thing. I feel like I could see her on a billboard with Charlie XCX right now, and it would say worldwide steppers. it would say worldwide steppers as a reference to Kendrick Lamar's album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and also a reference to the Harlem Globetrotters, a reference to a lot of things, just a reference to many things, and that's kind of encapsulates the vibe, the aura that they would have as a dynamic duo. Two individuals hating, actually no, not hating, loving the world and all it has to give, hating some things. I'm sure they hate. There would be some hatred. Like, obviously, everybody's got a little bit of hate. If you don't have a little bit of hate, you're lying to yourself and everyone around you. And I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it's true. And we're just gonna. So I don't know what's going on here, but I've been spending extra time on this recording and the last recording, and I don't know why I feel I don't know why I feel deserving of this extra time. Like, I set myself a time limit, and I guess it's fine as long as I'm not upsetting the inner monologue. There's a rule maker in my head. There's a guy who says, yeah, you can do that, and no, you can't. The guy right now, he's kind of sitting and watching, and he's nodding his head. He's going, okay, all right. Keep going for now. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when you need to put a stop to this madness. Rest assured, he will let me know. He'll scream and cry and shout, and freak out and go mad. Absolutely so. okay, there's not really anything I can really do. Like, I've done this in such a way where it seems like I expected to spend a lot more time. Like, the way I structure this, it makes it seem like I wanted to do this for like maybe a couple hours. Like, this seems like something that I wanted to fully render out. Like, the way I've done this, the way I've structured it, the way that it looks right now, it looks very much like the underpainting to something much bigger and grander. Little do they know, little do the haters know, it's not. Also, say hello to the crackling. The garage crackling has returned. For those unaware, if you haven't seen the past episodes, the garage crackling, recurring character, recurring famous celebrity that just makes an appearance on our show sometimes. Say hello. It likes to be recognized. That helps it go away faster, or maybe it definitely doesn't. But we could still say hello. Like, it doesn't hurt to be polite. I mean, come on, you guys. Have some decency. Where's your honor? Where's your humanity? Gone, lost. Okay. Well, I could have told you that much. Um, do we even outline this? Like, it's in such a state that I don't even think it's salvageable. I say that about it literally everything I do, and I don't know why. I have no self confidence. Can we work on that? Can we work on that? You guys are really my therapist, is what this relationship is. Again, King. I feel the need to, obviously it's been established very well that when I say you guys, I mean King, but I just want to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. King and, maybe like a couple other people who will watch this in like a few weeks' time, but like for the near future, just King. Like, I know you're the person who's watching this right now thinking, what about me? Like, that I watch these. I told you I watched these. I am a big fan. And put that in air quotes, because you and I both know you're not a big fan. It's all a facade. But don't worry. I know, and I'm excluding you for a purpose, for a reason, because you're a faker, and you never ever will be as real as King Cantrell, the person that has been my day one since day zero. Day one since day zero is like crazy bars. Can we acknowledge, like, I don't know. Sometimes I have a few dubs and we forget to like recognize them on the show, but that was like one of them that I feel like needs to come out of the woodwork and announce its presence. Like, that was pretty solid. I don't know about you guys, but that felt good to me. At this ding dang darn point, I don't really want to say that we've gone overtime. We've gone immensely overtime. Typically, I like to stick around 24 minutes is my goal. I don't know why, but that's how long it took me to do. And you know what it is? The garage crackling is telling us to wrap it up. That's what that is. And I don't know how well it's picking up on the mic. I'll be quiet for a second and just let you hear it. Yeah, you can definitely hear that loud and clear. It's pretty clear. Just turn up your volume a little bit if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's there. Trust me. I can see it on the audio. I watch my OBS audio closely. Trust me, I'm a professional. Call me a sound engineer. No, they don't. No one calls me that because I'm not, and I have no right to be called that. And I don't even know what sound is really. Like, waves? The only waves I know are like in the pool when I splash and do a giant dive. Was there something there, or like, what was there nothing there, and I shouldn't have said it. I don't know. Sometimes it's unclear. Okay, really, we've spent too much, like, more time than was warranted on this. It doesn't look like we spent extra time on it, and it doesn't feel like we should have. Feels like it has a foundation that could have been done more with if it wasn't for the fact that we were on limited time, which I knew going into this, which I ignored. So it's a hateful relationship I kind of have with myself here. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so very much for your time. I've been Pat the Numerate. Until next, and until next time, kick rocks, pop. Bye bye.